Hi everyone, welcome to this week's video. I have an awesome topic for you today, and that is self-love. Now, self-love is a buzzword that I'm actually seeing and hearing a lot out there right now. So I guess it's pretty trendy. The talk about self-love seems to be pretty trendy, which is amazing because self-love is very important. In fact, unconditional self-love, which I like to refer to it as, is the foundation which everything is set. It's the foundation on which you return back to yourself and your wholeness. It's the foundation for peace and joy. It's the foundation for you manifesting and bringing in all the blessings to your life. It's the foundation for you to fully love and accept others. Self-love is a big deal. And it's not just a buzzword. It's the practice of self-love is a work in progress, and it can be hard, and it's very important. So true self-love is loving all aspects of self, unconditionally loving all aspects of self, specifically the aspects of self that are wounded, the aspects of self that are painful for us to look at, the aspects of self that still hold jealousy, that still hold sadness, resentment, anger, all those aspects of self that are painful for us to look at, that bring up the thoughts of self-judgment. Those are the aspects of self that are asking to be loved. And in order to be a practitioner of self-love and be a person who really embodies love in and of itself, you need to first accept and unconditionally love all aspects of self, including the aspects of self that are wounded, that we don't tend to really want to look at, that it's not fun to look at. These aspects of self are the ones that we like to push aside or stuff down. And these wounded and neglected aspects of self are what are actually keeping us separate from who we truly are. Now, these aspects of self actually aren't keeping us separate, but our rejection of those aspects of self are what keeps us separate. So what do? We're being asked to fully love and accept all aspects of self, including these wounded aspects of self. These wounded aspects of self we conjure up over time, we collect over time. Things happen to us in our life that create sadness or anger, and these aspects of self form in us over time. When we're born with a deep sense of unconditional love still for ourselves and for all others. Throughout our lives, situations and circumstances come into our experience which create pain. These painful experiences create these fragmented pieces of self. Usually when we experience pain, we're experiencing the feeling of the opposite of unconditional love. So these aspects of self, these wounded aspects of self, are in us through years and years and years of experiencing pain and sadness in some way, shape, or form. So the ways in which we can begin to love all aspects of self, including, and most importantly, these wounded aspects of ourself, are just to do just that, unconditionally love these aspects of ourself. Just as a mother would for her innocent child, unconditionally love that innocent child, we are being asked to unconditionally love these aspects of ourself, or what I like to think of them as they are childlike aspects of self. They are the wounded childlike aspects of ourself that we are being asked to remother or refather and reintegrate back into our being so that we could fully love and accept ourselves as a whole. Not just the parts of ourselves that we already tend to like, but all the aspects of self. So I want to do, if you will, a little exercise with you that will give you a little glimpse on how you can do this integration process, on how you can remother or refather these aspects of self. This exercise will take maybe a minute. So close your eyes, if you will, and take a deep breath. and let it all go. Let's do another one. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling completely and feeling your body just soften. And then think, if you will, about an aspect of yourself that makes you feel uncomfortable or that you don't particularly love. Whatever the first thing that comes up is the appropriate thing for us to work on in this exercise. And imagine that that aspect of self is actually in form. So imagine that aspect of yourself is sitting right in front of you. So let's just take the example of jealousy, for lack of a better term. So you could interject whatever your aspect of self is here. Set it right in front of you and imagine that it's a younger aspect of yourself. Maybe it's 12, maybe 5, 8, 16, whatever age comes up for you with this aspect of self. Just imagine that, and imagine that that aspect of yourself is sitting right in front of you right now. Let's take another deep breath. And I want you to say to this self, you are safe. You are loved. You are perfection. All is well. All will be well. Only love is real. I love you unconditionally. You are safe now with me. I will love you always. Take a deep breath. Imagine that aspect of yourself is smiling, whatever age of yourself that is. And allow yourself to send that aspect of yourself deep, unconditional love. You can open your eyes. That's an exercise that I practice with myself regularly, and that I practice with my clients regularly and in workshops and so forth. It is an integral part to reintegrating in the pieces of ourselves that are neglected, because the fact of the matter is that we are dualistic beings. We are both light and dark. And when I say dark, I don't mean that we have anything negative within us. I just mean, as humans, we are here to experience the full range of human emotions. And with that full range, the joyful, peaceful emotions, we experience these deep, dark emotions. That's what I mean by dark, that we are able to experience and encompass the full spectrum of the human emotions, including the ones that don't feel good at all. And so since we encompass all of these, to either reject or neglect or not accept that we have experienced on both sides the darker side of emotions doesn't do ourselves a service, because we can't fully reject aspects of ourselves if they're a part of ourselves. The only thing that we could do is to unconditionally love them. And that's grace. When we can say, I love something unconditionally, even if it's painful or even if it's not perfect, that is grace. That is unconditional love. And when you can extend your own self that level of grace, of sending wounded aspects of yourself unconditional love, you are setting the foundation for true peace, true joy, manifesting true miracles into your life, and being able to extend that grace and walk in that grace for others, to be able to unconditionally love others in the way you love yourself. Because the fact of the matter is, it's impossible for us to love others truly unconditionally until we've extended that same grace to ourselves. So I invite you to practice this in your own life. Really start to allow yourself to unconditionally love yourself and care for yourself in the way of loving the wounded aspects of self, and see how that really allows your life to lighten up and brighten up, and see how that allows you to be an example of unconditional love for everyone else in your life. If you want more help with this, I can help walk you through the entire process. We can do a session together, or we can just have a chat about it. Contact me over at ChristinaBronstein.com and let's chat about it. Until next week, guys, much love. Bye.